So the topic of today is design maturity. And to give you a little bit of a background, the wider and more extensive use of design in an organization, it means higher design maturity. That is design maturity. And why should we be interested in it? Higher design maturity, it actually means better business. So that's why we're here.
And today we're going to talk about our journey increasing the design maturity at OP Financial Group. What we're going to use is the Danish Design Center's design ladder model, 4 steps. I guess you're all quite familiar with it. So as a framework of our journey. So please enjoy.
So starting from the first step is non-design, meaning that there's actually no designers in the company. So design is a really invisible part, and the design activities don't take place, or they take place with non-trained designers. So that would be step 1. And the time that we were there in OP Financial Group, the waterfall model was really prevailing in development. And as you can see, this is the first online bank we created in 1996. It was actually the second one in Europe and the world's 4th one. And if you really take a look at it, you can see that there was no designers inside. So that bad it looked like. And basically what at the time was happening, the benefits of development and everything was calculated based on user analytics and financial metrics. So no design metrics outside.
When stepping at the step 2, then design starts to be a form-giving factor. So it's viewed exclusively in a very end of the development process, and designers focuses on aesthetics or style or ergonomics. And user interface starts to be the king in this type of organization or in this type of design maturity. So here's an example of our first version of our mobile app, which then was the kind of an example of design being part of the process, but at the very end of the process. At the same time, we actually had a kind of indications of a better future. This is our mobile wallet Pivo at that time. It actually won a Red Dot Award at 2014. But the aesthetics or the UI was not here actually the core, but the fact that designers were involved at the beginning of the whole development process, and the whole application was actually built around very deep customer understanding, customer insight, and also validating the customer need. And that was also the basis of the Red Dot Award, not the actual look and feel.
And once we enter the step 3, it means that design becomes an integrated part of the development process. From idea to launch, designers are there. So it's not a separate function anymore alongside the development, but designers are there from beginning to the end. And once we were on the step, it was time of some kind of an awakening of design's benefits. There were a couple of drivers that were driving this change. The first one and the second one. The first one being the digitalization of the whole financial industry. It played a big part. And then at the same time, OP started investing heavily in developing new products and services. So we were there, and we decided, we realized that the designers that we have were pretty much concentrating, in-house designers were concentrating on the very late of the process, the user interface part. We had UX designers, and we decided that we need to in-source strategic design roles. So we don't want to build that competence outside the company, but bring it in. One thing that was very important at the third step was that design metrics started playing a very key part of the driving the change. We developed this design percentage metric that we used, meaning that it was calculated every month, and we checked all the projects, and all those projects that had designers at some point of the project, they were counted in, and as you can see, the design percentage started increasing quite fast. So from 10% in 2015, the next year, the late of the year, it was already 78. So the maturity kept increasing.
And I have to say here that the actual metrics were very key of the change, and you get what you kind of measure was clear indication here.
Exactly. Another thing was that we realized that this needs to be the business of the whole company. So we started really changing and transforming the culture. And one activity that we were carrying out was these design days. At every half, we organized these design days that were open events for all OP members. And they were really successful. Altogether, I think 1,500 people, OP people, were participating during this time. And here you can see the topics that we concentrated on those design days. One very key thing is that when design maturity increases, customer insight expertise must grow alongside design maturity. So designers need food, I'd like to say, some kind of food for the thought, food for design, and that's customer insight. At this time, we realized that the value of design is already recognized from idea to launch, and the design metrics are there, but we really need to increase our customer insight capability. So this meant that we started creating a customer insight function, and the bubbles over here, they represent the type of data that we brought together. So we actually created something that is really unique. We brought together research and customer data analytics and customer experience metrics, and also the customer involvement process. I like to say that this is unique because for the fact that in many companies, for example, customer experience metrics, they reside at marketing or in business units, but we brought all that data, qualitative and quantitative, all together and started cooking the meal for the designers, I'd like to say.
And one of the key learnings we get asked many times, okay, what are the key learnings from your journey? This is one very important learning for us, that the customer insight needs to grow alongside the design. And we were a bit late. We could have done it a bit earlier, but still it was really important part of our journey. And stepping up to the final step number 4, which is in this model, design as a strategy, which means that design methods are used in a strategy work, and designers take part of remodeling the business or identifying the commercial opportunities. So design is not about actually facilitating things or getting involved in some part of the process, but it actually is integral part of everything that company does. So a few our insights on step when entering to the 4 steps. So first of all, when climbing upwards on the design ladders, you need to have a critical mass of strategic design roles. We did recruitments on those roles earlier on 2015, end of 2015, and which you can also see on the metrics that Pia was presenting earlier on the design percentage. So once we got the strategic design roles in-house, we also got the organization utilizing design and much more. But the design roles are not enough. You need to really expand the design thinking and design thinking culture across the organization and across the different roles. And those design days that were presented earlier were one of the key things, that we were spreading the culture to different roles and different parts of the organization. So kind of the privilege of design, it's not only for designers but for everyone. So to achieve the 4th step, the design culture needs to be cultivated in the whole organization. And with this picture, there's an internal show that design doesn't belong only for the left-handed, it belongs also for the right-handed, meaning that design belongs to everyone in every single role in the organization when entering to the 4th step. And that's really where the design is integral part of the business decision making as well, not only about the development.
This is a little bit like a busy slide, but gives you a picture that our journey didn't happen overnight. So we actually started our design journey already 2010. So when we were at the first step, and the step one was that there were no designers there. So it was just like a very technical development. And that's when we started our development unit in Oulu. That's one part of the journey. Then you can see the design resources, they keep growing over time, and then we enter the different steps. But really, it was a decade-long journey, so it's not something that happens overnight. But we are not going to talk through the whole journey here. We just gave you some kind of little bit like flashing out a little bit on the journey. We have gathered all the journey and all the learnings from it to a little booklet that is available on the internet in Finnish and soon also in English, so you can learn more from what we did and probably also learn not to do it the same way, but a better way. As Jaakko said, that there's always somebody else that can do it better and you can do it better, I'm sure.
So that's it.